Good morning, everyone. My name is Tony Tansey. I'm a senior network engineer with Com Solutions Company, and welcome to the video of Palo Alto Networks initial firewall configuration. The initial requirements for configuring our firewall is one, to make sure we have received an email from orders@paloaltonetworks.com. This email will contain the authorization codes that we will use to activate the subscriptions we have purchased for our firewall. These are typically threat prevention and URL filtering. Our initial configuration will be by powering on our Palo Alto Networks firewall, and then using the serial cable provided, we will connect that to our computer and connect it to the console port on our firewall. We will use some terminal emulation software. Typically, I will use PuTTY with the settings of 9600, 8N, and 1. After a few minutes of the boot up sequence, we will get a prompt for the login of our firewall. Initially, the firewall goes through a self-commit process while it's initializing. We can actually look at that process by entering the show jobs process command. Once everything is finished and self-commit is done on the firewall, we will then get our login prompt and be able to log in to our firewall. Some background information, things we will need to perform this initial configuration: our management interface IP address, our management interface mask, gateway, and DNS server. All of these are important because the firewall by default will use the management interface to perform its own functions for things like software updates. Once we are able to get into the console, we will go into configure mode and use the command set device config to set the IP address, mask, and DNS server information for the management port. We will then commit that change, exit our firewall, and we will then be able to access our firewall via the GUI. And let's take a look at this process. So here I have a serial connection to my firewall. I will type in my default login and password, which is admin and admin. Now that I'm on the firewall, I'm going to go into configure mode, and I'm going to set my IP address. So I will use the set device config system IP address. Once I have entered the set device config command, I can then commit that setting to the firewall. And once that commit is finished, I will then be able to access my firewall via that IP address using Internet Explorer, Mozilla, or Chrome to access the web GUI. Thank you for your attention in viewing this video. Please reach out to Com Solutions for all your IT networking needs. And you can visit Com Solutions at www.comsolutions.com.